Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Another episode on Raj's Garage. Now, this episode is going to be a little bit different. We've been talking about the 355 recently, and we've been talking about my E30 M3. Today's all about Porsche. Hence why I've come in my 996 Turbo S to Porsche Center High Wycombe, and today we are going to be locking in the spec of my 992.2 GT3. So not only are we going to talk about the spec options, we're going to talk about GT3 and GT3 RS prices, and also that horrible word, allocation. Let's get into it. So we are here, Porsche High Wycombe. Through the corner of my eye, I can see Kevin eagerly waiting. Hello,
Raj,
mate.
how are you?
I'm
Good to see you again. You well?
I'm very well, thank
Excellent.
you. We are here to, I'm going to say finalise, but knowing me, there's probably going to be a few changes that I'm going to do post this video. You ready for it?
Are you ready for it?
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's go.
Cheers.
Your destiny awaits.
Right, I've already spec'd the car previously. In fact, I've paid a deposit. I've been told by Kevin that I've got possibly about 2 more weeks to finalize the order before the car goes into build. Once it goes into build, it's done. There's nothing I can change. I'm a little bit unsure of colors, so today we're gonna go through the color palette and the options that are available. Kevin has put up one of the options already on the screen, Guards Red. It's one of the options, and we've had a good chat off camera about color options and resale and what other customers have gone for. I'm not sure about Guards Red. But so before we get into color options, I would say, don't take this the wrong way, guys. One of the negatives of spec'ing the GT3, I don't want to come across as being arrogant, is there are only 12 colors on the configurator. Now you could probably come in and buy a Macan or a Taycan and you might have more color options. Potentially. And some of the best colors are not available to me because I don't have a PTS slot. PTS stands for paint to sample. And the PTS slots are far and few between. It's, you know, how many do you think you'll get allocated this year?
I couldn't even say that number.
It's
almost, you know how difficult it is to get a GT allocation. Well, it's the same with a PTS allocation. You've got to be very lucky to get a GT car, but then to get a GT car with paint to sample, I mean,
we could be
tough.
talking a handful of cars that are PTS from this dealership. So the 12 color options that are available, and I'm just going to read them out from the Porsche configurator.
Please do.
Obviously, you've got the stock 2 colors, which are your white and your black.
That's correct.
Okay? And then there are 4 shade colors, which there's a premium of £1,067. You've got jet black metallic, vanadium grey metallic, GT silver metallic, and then also you've got ice grey metallic. Dreams, which are another 4 options, £1,704 premium. Guards Red.
Yes.
Gentian blue, which was quite popular on the Dot 1, wasn't it?
It was, yeah.
Cartagena yellow.
Yeah, that's a mouthful.
Yeah. And then we've got Lugano blue.
That's correct.
Which is actually a very nice colour. And you've got one of those here in a GTS upstairs.
That's it.
And then we have 2 premium options called the Legends.
Yeah.
Premium of £3,235.
Just a small price to pay.
Just a small price to pay for difference in colour. And the 2 options there are oak green metallic, Neo, which I've actually seen, my friend Bav has that. And a colour that is on my list of 3 or 4 options, which are my narrow list, is slate grey Neo. So the 4 colours that I've narrowed it down to is the jet black, the slate grey, the Guards Red, and the Lugano blue. So they're the 4 colours I've narrowed it down to.
Great choices. It's not going to be an easy.
It's not an easy one.
Easy task this at all.
Yeah, so we're going to try and lock it in today. We'll start with the specs on my GT3 because that has got literally most of the options that I want on there, and we can discuss why I've gone for the options that I have. By the time you've thrown the toys on, and let's face it, guys, we're all gonna throw toys on. You're into the 190s and the 200, and you think, how have I got there?
It's a kid in a candy shop, that's why.
Yeah, it is.
You won't be the first, you're not going to be the last one, right, to do
most
that.
definitely.
And that's part of the fun.
It is part of the fun.
Of course it is.
So this is my theory, guys, so don't shoot me in the comments. Weissach was never available on the GT3, am I correct?
That's right, yeah.
It was purely an RS product.
That's correct, yeah.
And the whole point of the Weissach pack is to reduce weight, which therefore helps performance. Carbon roof, carbon bonnet, magnesium wheels. So a lot of performance improvements, 30 kilogram saving, and 30K is what you pay on the RS, £30,000 for a Weissach pack. It's a little bit cheaper on the GT3. Thank you, Porsche, for doing that, reducing the price.
You are absolutely welcome.
However, me personally,
Yeah.
am I going to track this car? Maybe once in its life. I'm not a track guy. Okay. And I've realized that because with the RS, I've tracked it twice and I don't think I'm going to track it again. So why would I want to spend £20,000, maybe a bit more, to have a car which is 30 kilograms lighter, give or take, has wheels on there which you have to drive so careful, because if you curb a magnesium alloy, you can't go to your local specialist and say, can you fix this for me? Because it just can't be done. And I think those magnesium alloys to purchase individually are £4,000 or £5,000 each, give or take.
It's probably something like that, yeah.
And we live in the UK.
Yeah.
Our roads here are terrible. There are potholes everywhere. We're coming into winter, harsh conditions. There's going to be more potholes next year because of a harsh winter. The chances of damaging a wheel increase. So that's my logic and my thinking. Save the £20,000, but have some of the carbon options, because some of them do look cool.
Absolutely.
Not necessarily for the weight saving. Forget the magnesium alloys. That's my thought process.
Look, Raj, I think what you're saying there makes a lot of sense, and we're obviously stepping into unknown territory because, as we've said, we haven't had the Weissach option available prior to this, so we don't know. So if I couldn't sit here and say it's hand on heart, it's going to improve the sell-on value later down the line, because we don't know. I could make an educated guess and say if we look at RS products that haven't had Weissach built into the cars, then we can find them a little bit harder to sell later down the line, or they don't hold their values. But we've never had a GT3 with this fantastic challenge that we face today.
It's a conundrum.
And I know what you're saying about the wheels. They are expensive, and it's, you know, so easy to hit a curb, or you're on a track as well, you know, and you hit over one of those high bumps on the corners. So, you know, I think it's a sound decision what you're making. I can't answer that for you, but I think it's a very good educated guess and what you're going down, and let's hope that it doesn't bite you in the tail later down the line.
Let's hope it doesn't. I didn't have an issue selling my 992.1 GT3, and in fact, this was when Tina was at Porsche Reading. When I spec'd my RS, that car was taken back in and it sold at a premium, didn't have Weissach. And I'm hoping to use the GT3 considerably more than I have my RS. So I'm not going to say it's a daily, but I could do maybe 3,000 miles a year, as opposed to the RS, which has done 3,000 miles in 18 months. So yeah, that's my reasoning behind the Weissach pack. So there is no Weissach pack, but we're going to choose some of the elements that are provided with the Weissach pack, but more so for aesthetics rather than performance.
Absolutely.
Spec-wise, as you can see there, we've not gone with the Weissach pack, but we are going with the Club Sport pack. In your experience, comfort seats, Club Sport, resale, what do you think?
Again, my experience really, Club Sport package is I would always advise to put it on. Again, it's always the customer's decision, but I think it's a wise move. I think it helps resale values later down the line.
For some of you guys that think, what is the Club Sport package over the comfort spec? The Club Sport package includes the bucket seats, which are now adjustable.
That's right, can now fold them forwards and backwards.
Which really helps. And it helps more so when you have the cage, because the cage is part of the Club Sport package. Now with the stock GT3 bucket seats, try and get something behind you with a cage, which is, it's doing its job, it's to protect you. You can just about get your arm in there. At least now, with the seats that fold forward, if you need to use that space behind you and you've got the cage, you could throw in a bag, throw a rucksack, you can use that. I think in terms of resale, Club Sport helps. I actually like the bucket seats over the comfort, and I've got used to having them. There is a knack, a way of jumping into a GT3 without looking foolish, and there's a way of
getting out
gracefully without falling out and without damaging the bolsters as well. So we're going to go with the Club Sport, and we're going to go with the cage as well. We're going to go with the PCCBs, which are the ceramic brakes. One good thing about the PCCBs, apart from the stopping power, because that's what they're there for, is that you don't get any brake dust.
This is true, keeps it nice and clean.
It's so cool.
And you've got nice bright alloys.
Silver
but you
wheels.
don't like black alloys, which would probably go black with all that brake dust.
So for you guys, what we're going to do is we're just going to change the colour of that car, so you've got an idea of what it would look like in the 4 colour options that I'm considering.
What do you want to start with?
Well, let's go with the black. So let's go with full contrast, away from the red.
Jet black metallic. Let's go.
All blacked out bar the wheels. That's actually a lovely look, and I think it works well with the yellow calipers.
They really bring out the colour. There's a contrast there, isn't it? With that dark and bright colour. That's a racy looking car.
That is a racy looking car.
With not, I think, being overbearing in terms of the bright colour.
Yeah.
You know.
And also one of the drawbacks is with a darker car, when you have carbon options, like that's actually got a carbon roof. Very difficult to see, especially on screen. But even in real life, you've got to go up to the car to see the carbon roof. Some people like that, the fact it's just it's stealth. It hides everything. That's most definitely an option. Now let's go with the blue option. So that would be the Lugano blue. And I've got to say that's a striking colour.
It is a stunning colour indeed.
I quite like that. And I think I most definitely like that over Guards.
Yeah.
I think Guards has now actually gone down the pecking order.
Yeah.
That is quite bold and in your face.
So I mean, the contrast there, we've mentioned already about sharp blue, and of course if we look over on our sort of paint sample on the walls, the second one's down from left to right, we've got the sharp blue on the left, and we've got the Lugano blue on the right, and we can see it is a darker blue than the sharp blue, which I don't think necessarily is pictured or picked up really on the configurator image, because that looks a little bit more sharp blue.
Yeah, 100%.
But actually you can see Lugano blue is a bit darker and a bit more polished.
If I put both of them as against the screen, I'd say that's sharp blue.
Yeah,
but it's not.
I would agree. It's not.
It's not. And I think that's the drawback here, is that it's actually a slightly darker blue. I prefer the sharp blue.
If only you had PTS.
Yeah, if only I had PTS, if only. I did say 4 options. There's actually a 5th option that has entered the room purely because of the swatch that I saw earlier on. So let's first of all show you the 4th option, which is the slate grey Neo. And there we have it. I've got to say, it's a stunning colour. You've got, I think it's a 992 Turbo S in the showroom.
It's not a Turbo, it's a GTS with aero kit.
So 992 GTS with aero in the showroom. And I've got to say, it's a stunning colour. It does look very pretty. For some of you, it probably doesn't take your breath away. And you're probably thinking, well, it's a GT car, it's got a big wing, there's so much stuff going on there, so much aero going on there, it needs to be a bit shouty. I think maybe the RS is the car that should be the shouty car, and this is like the younger sibling, which doesn't really need to be in your face as much as the RS. That's my opinion. And then finally, the 5th option, which has entered the room, is vanadium grey metallic, which has got a tinge of blue in there. And I quite like that.
It is an incredible colour, and I think the 911s that I've seen that have been coming through recently in vanadium grey have blown us away. Again, the configurator paintwork here, the image doesn't show how stylish this really looks, and the contrast with the silver wheels and the yellow calipers. I've seen this on a touring, very similar spec, blew me away.
If we're talking monetary value now, the Weissach pack, according to your configurator, is £19,531. We've gone with the lightweight sport bucket seats, which are foldable, £5,390. Can you bring them up? Oh, there we go, we're going inside the car. Now, as you can see, I do have a fair amount of red stitching there, and I've got the red seat belts. That was because the car was configured with guards red externally. The options are that we can change the extensive leather and the race text, which is the Alcantara, and we can go white, we can go blue, and I think there's quite a few different options as well. Can you believe this? Heated seats are free.
How about that?
Thank you.
You are so welcome, Rosh.
Thank you. Appreciate that. Seatbelt, silver grey, £380. One thing which I think is a must is the chrono stop. There are a few bits I've previously added, which I'm going to leave there. We've got storage compartment lid in race text with the Porsche logo. We've got the sun visors in race text, which is the Alcantara. And we've got the door sill guards in carbon matte. They're illuminated. It's a nice little touch. Again, there are so many different options you can go for, and I'm keeping it very, I wouldn't say simple, but just, I'm not going overboard. Fire extinguisher, we've added that already. Inside, probably the most important thing is the gearbox. I'm going with PDK. I think because I'm going to be using the car, I'm not saying daily as a daily, but a little bit more so. I live in London, and clutch, you know, changing gear, stuck in traffic, PDK is perfect for that. And if I was to ever trap the car, it's perfect for that as well. It's quicker gear change than a manual. And a must, and I would say this with a capital M, you have to have the lifting system, the front axle lift. Whether you live in London or not, front axle lift is important because speed humps, you know, driveways,
big
potholes, you know, you just need that axle lift. And I've also noticed that when you're looking at second-hand market, some of the cars that don't have axle lift, they tend to sit around for a little bit longer. So the small premium you pay, £2,701, still a lot of money, but the small premium you pay, it's a must. So we've gone with axle lift, we've got the chrono package, we've got the PCCBs. They're not cheap, guys. The PCCBs are nearly £10,000. Hopefully that's a lot of stopping power for £10,000. We've got CarPlay, the standard stuff. We're going with the Bose upgrade. Now, ultimately, being the owner of Cardi Security, I could change the audio system, but I think the Bose option is okay. So I've quickly gone through the spec list there. On the screen now, we'll throw all the different options I've gone for with the prices and the cost and the eye-watering number. Okay, drum roll. The basic price of the car is $158,200 only. As a salesman, you have to always say only.
It is only.
It is
it's only, ever only.
And without the Weissach package, but with the PCCBs, with the silver wheels, with the carbon roof, as you can see, I've spec'd it there with the carbon roof. That spec was done when I did the Guards Red car, and just to give you an idea, the carbon roof, if I swing back, is £3,071. There's a bit of cost towards decals and so on. So you've got the GT3 emblem on the side, and I've also gone for the tinted HD Matrix LED headlights. Again, very good as for resale. Plus, I think they just do the job so much better. Aesthetically, they look awesome. And rear privacy glass. So the total number, drumroll guys, is £190,242, including VAT. Does that include first year's registration?
It does not, I'm afraid, Rosh.
Okay, now
this is one that we can thank the government for, because obviously this increased. In fact, it didn't just increase, it doubled as of the 1st of April this year.
Is it £4,000?
Might be a little bit more.
We'll put the number on the screen. Thank you very much, the Labour government. I'm not one to talk about politics on our channel or on my socials, but this is the Labour government's doing. So in the UK, we have to pay first year registration. I don't know what it's like in the USA and other countries. So that goes on top. So we're going to be looking at somewhere around just shy of £200,000, 196, 197,000 pounds. I'm going to fire some questions at you.
Great.
So it's a question and answer round. Allocation.
Yes.
That's always a big thing when it comes to GT cars. Is the allocation schedule or a way a consumer can gain access to the GT market, has that changed? Is it becoming difficult? Is it becoming slightly easier?
Well, I've been with the brand for 3 years now. And I would say that allocations are hard to come by. And it is the fortunate people, much like yourself, Raj, that are fortunate enough to get these allocations. I know that every customer wishes they could just go online, build their car, push that configuration code over to their nearest Porsche centre, and an allocation is theirs. But you'd also lose just how special these GT cars are. So in the last 3 years, I haven't seen an increase or a decrease.
Okay.
The demand is still very much there, because I'm the person, like my colleagues are, picking up the phones every day and hearing and feeling our customers at the other end of the phone. So the demand is there. Am I seeing more? Not really.
Okay.
But I'm not seeing less either. So I kind of feel it's pretty much been stable for the last 3 years.
I do believe though that the market for the second-hand GT car has softened a little bit. And if you look at, if we talk about the 992.1 GT3 when it first came out, 150, 160k, they were going for 50k overs.
Yeah, I remember, yeah.
And I actually know a good friend of mine who bought one for 60k overs. It had done 300 miles. Just because he couldn't get allocation and he wanted that car. In the end, he sold it 6 months later and lost a chunk of money.
Yeah.
But if you look on the used market today, there are, I wouldn't say a glut, but there's a fair amount of 992 GT3 cars in any color you want, including some PTS options, including Tourings. Tourings always tend to fetch a little bit more.
That's right.
So would you suggest if you don't get allocation, because now the prices have softened, jump on the classifieds, go through a dealer like yourself?
Well, I think it's the only way. We know that each centre have got their own ways of how they allocate and how that's kind of arranged. Again, that's really centre principle level. For us salespeople, we're just here trying to sell cars to people and sell dreams to people. So it's a very, very difficult one really on that front.
Okay, so I mean, my take on it, guys, is if you are knocking on the door of Porsche and you're unable to get allocation, I would personally say go on the classifieds. The prices have dipped. There are quite a few options there, and as I said earlier, you can have any color option you want because they're all available, and they're all typically spec very well. Some of them might be a little bit individual, so don't worry. And that could be an option for you to get allocation later down the road if you're already in a GT car. They see, in my opinion, Porsche see you as a GT customer. What they don't want, and maybe Kevin won't say this, is they don't want guys flipping the cars, because ultimately they're the ones that end up with egg on their face, because there's a lot of guys that will then just go online and say, look, I've been trying to get a car, I've bought X, Y, Z from this dealership. This chap just got one and he's flipped it. That may be an option. Jump on the classifieds, buy a car, 5, 10, 15 grand over list. In fact, if you scour the web, you can probably find cars at retail money, at list price. Finance rates aren't what they used to be. They are a little bit higher than they were 3-4 years ago, again, because of government and so on. So I think that's also changed the market. APRs now are 10%, 11%, whereas 3-4 years ago, you could probably get 6s and 6.5s. That hasn't helped. So that may be one of the reasons why the car prices have come down. And also the supercar market isn't fantastic at the moment.
I think every brand is experiencing similar problems.
Yeah.
We're no different. I'd say that one of the things that we're very lucky about with Porsche is our GT cars are holding better than some of our competitors.
I agree with you.
Because the brand's so iconic and goes back, and when you buy a Porsche, you know what you're getting. You know what you're buying into, and it's a brand of dreams. as you know better than most.
If you buy from Porsche main dealer, so a 991 GT3 or a 992 GT3, you get 2 years warranty on the car.
Absolutely.
And that warranty covers a lot. It's a lot of peace of mind. If you buy it from an independent, if the car is just outside of warranty, if something goes wrong, then obviously it's down on you. So it's a good idea sometimes just to pay a little bit over, a small premium, just to get that Porsche warranty, and know that if there is an issue, you just go to any Porsche dealer and they will look after that car. With that being said, that's my car spec'd. I'm not saying that is the color I'm going for, but that's definitely up there. 5 color choices, and then you guys can tell me what you think, what you would go for, and then we'll talk about another car which is coming onto the channel very soon. So, I'm going to end the video here, guys. 5 color options. I do prefer the greys. Let me know what you think. Most importantly, thank you to Kevin.
Absolute pleasure.
For all his time. Also, thank you to Tina, who's not here today. Some of you will remember Tina from when I spec'd my GT3 and my GT3 RS at Porsche Reading. She's helped me out and she got me the allocation here at Porsche High Wycombe. Porsche High Wycombe details on the screen and in the description below. Kevin's details are in the description below. If you're after a new or a used car, make sure you just email them direct or hit Kevin up. Thanks for the hospitality, absolutely brilliant. Just to come here and have a look around. I mean, I'm gonna show you some of the cars here and they are to die for. As regards to my RS, that may be going up for sale pretty soon, because I think once I get into the GT3, the 992.2, I think the RS is going to sit in the garage. It's probably not going to get used. I'm not a track guy. There's no frunk in the RS. So even if I wanted to use it and go on a tour, where do I put my bag? Passenger seat, in the footwell. So that will be going up for sale pretty soon. That's in Arctic Grey. But it doesn't end here, guys. Recently, I put a deposit down on, for me, what's considered a unicorn car, a halo car, one that I've been after probably for 4 years, and somehow everything aligned and I've managed to get into that car. Picking up this other Porsche product next week, and then we'll be back here in hopefully November to pick up my 992.2 GT3. Guys, thanks for watching. Make sure you smash the like button and make sure to subscribe to the channel, because the next video is going to be exciting. Collection day. Thanks again.
You're welcome. Thank you.
I'll see you on the next one.